Hi friends, Rachel Gerlach with Nutrition Works, where we provide whole women health using nutrition therapy, cutting edge laboratory testing, and coaching psychology. And we are starting a new series. I am starting a new series called Tough Love Tuesday. And let me tell you why. Because one of the greatest gifts I can give you is honesty, as well as education and solutions to help you make change in your health, your life, and your nutrition. I want women to have better lives. So it's my job to be honest with you. It's your friend's job to bring you a bottle of wine and listen to you and pat you on the back and be like, yeah, you've got it, girl. Great. We each have our roles. But as your coach, as your health coach and your nutrition therapist, it's my job to hold you accountable and point out areas of opportunity and the solutions to get you there. So today we're going to talk about kid food and adult food. Listen, there's no such thing as kid food. Food is food, period. And the definition that I use for food is two. If you can grow it, kill it, eat it. Or, if this one resonates more with you, if you can pick it, pluck it, kill it, eat it. That does not include opening a box or taking a frozen meal out of a cellophane wrapper and put it in a microwave. It does not include anything that has been changed from its original composition. I'm not saying that you're never going to have processed foods, and that's not even what we're talking about, but I'm just giving you the definition. My definition of what I teach my clients is true food. Nowhere in there does it say kid food equals this, adult food equals this. But reason you are doing that is multiple. First and foremost, marketing companies are brilliant. They have done an amazing job telling you that there is a difference and making you feel like you're a really good mom if you buy them this cereal over here because it's whole grain, or if you go with the Annie's macaroni and cheese versus the Kraft, or that like kids love our hot dogs and the dino nuggets, which kind of are awesome by the way, but that, right, they taught you this and you bought into it. But don't beat yourself up over that because they're brilliant at it. They make billions of dollars off of marketing. So knowing that alone, I want you to take some of that control back and you fight that system. I don't even know if I want to say fight that system, but you get to decide if you want to buy into their marketing or not and say, I'm just not believing that, right? You can market to me all you want. I'm going to feed my kids what I want to feed my kids. Now, the way I see moms showing up is that they are tired, they're exhausted, they are tapped out emotionally, mentally, physically, and then the idea of sitting down at dinner and having a fight with their kids because they don't like what they made, it's not even an option. And so quite frankly, you're letting yourself off the hook. You're making it easier. You just want the path of least resistance. And if that's because your kid is throwing a fit because they don't have their macaroni and cheese and their dino nuggets, and you're trying to feed them some chicken breast or some tacos or some steamed veggies, it's easier just to give them what they want. I get this, but I just need you to be honest with the reason why you are doing it. You're not in trouble, but be honest, because when we're honest with ourselves, we can truly make change. You also might be doing it because they're making you feel bad and you feel guilty. Like my kids keep asking me for Lunchables, like that square thing, and then they got all the crappy stuff inside. And I'm like, hell no way, that is not food. If it can live for like 4 months on a shelf and not even a mouse would eat, well, I don't even know if they would do that, but like if insects won't eat it, I'm not feeding it to you. right? But I kind of feel that. I feel like I'm depriving them of something because all their friends at school are eating it. So you feel guilty, and you're allowing yourself to let that guilt drive your decisions. I have another one here. I wrote some notes down. So also, is you're lazy. Just be honest. I'm lazy, lots. My clients are lazy, lots. It is hard work. Grocery shopping, cleaning the veggies, prepping them, finding recipes that keep the palate exciting and food unique, and then feeding it, and then dealing with the fight that ensues because I don't like the broccoli, or I don't want this, I want the chicken nuggets, and then having to clean up, and then having waste, oh my gosh, right? I know that story, and there's many times that we show up and we're just too tired, and instead of deciding to do the work anyway, we decide to be lazy, and then we give them the macaroni and cheese and the dino nuggets over and over and over again. At least be honest with yourself, because this is actually what happens. So listen, you're doing yourself a disservice when you operate like this. You're doing your kids a disservice when you operate like this. And the reason is because you are now becoming a short order cook. You are already tapped out. You are already doing enough. There's no more room to be making your meal and maybe your partner's meal and then your kid's meal. That doesn't make sense. That's not efficient for you. And it exhausts you even more, to be quite honest. It also is not setting your kids up for future health and healthy body composition. If you feed your kids processed foods, they're going to struggle most likely with obesity. Just like when you feed your kid food that is not nutritious, is processed, is high in sodium, is made from genetically modified grains, is high in fat, all the things, is loaded with environmental toxins, you know what's probably going to happen, and not probably, this is what I see happening, is because you're tired, well, why make something clean, real food based? And so then you end up eating the dino nuggets and the chicken nugget, the dino nuggets and the macaroni and cheese, and then your weight increases. Then you get frustrated and you feel bloated and grumpy and puffy, and you're disappointed in yourself. Like, God, why can't I just get it together? So you're just not setting yourself up for success here. So with that said, and I tell you this from love, please, my mission, my purpose on this earth is to help people feel better. You're not going to feel better. You, your family, your kids are not going to feel better if you're dumping processed foods into your body. Your body is not a dumpster. It's not a trash can. Stop treating it that way. But you have to understand why you're doing it. Now you have the opportunity to start making some shifts. Now you have some visibility and honesty of like, oh yeah, I am being lazy. Okay, I'm being lazy. Do I want to keep being lazy? Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow night. I don't want to fight with my kids tonight. I had a fight at work, or I had a fight with my husband. Do I really want to fight with my kids tonight? No. Okay, so dino nuggets and mac and cheese it is for tonight. So here's some solutions. Okay, so take that from love. Hear that from love. And here are your solutions. And I kind of put them in order. Number one, I have them written down. First and foremost, you yourself have to be willing to deal with negative emotions. You have to be willing to have your kids get mad at you, and you have to be willing to feel disappointed and uncertain and scared and guilty and frustrated and annoyed and like you're gonna lose your shit. Like, you have to be willing to feel all of that and confused, right? In order to go through change. Change is uncomfortable. So if you're willing to feel everything that comes up while you shift your and your family's nutrition, you're going to be successful. I promise you this. More so than even just taking action and wiping your pantry clean, you got to be willing to feel everything that comes up when you throw some broccoli on their plate. And they're like, ugh, I don't want this. This sucks. And all the things. And then you're like, nobody appreciates me and nobody respects me. I have this conversation. I know it. So feel the emotions. Second, you have to be the model. You have to know that you yourself can do it. So I always recommend for my clients that they work on this for themselves first. Stop pushing stuff on your kids right now. It's not the time. Because if you're over here scarfing down mac and cheese and you're like, no, you need to eat your broccoli and your chicken, your chicken breast that's all dried up. You got to do that, but you're modeling something different, incongruent. Kids don't hear our words, they see our actions. That's what they model. So know that you can do it first. Work on yourself first. Number 3, communicate. Once you have decided that you're willing to feel everything that's going to come up, and you yourself are doing it, then I recommend that you go to the family and you communicate. You not only communicate what you're doing, but you communicate why you're doing it. That's so important. You're doing it because you want to have longevity on this earth. You're doing it because you do not want to have type 2 diabetes. You're doing it because you don't want yourself, your family, your kids to struggle with obesity and body shaming and bullying, because you don't want them to continue to suffer from anxiety and ADD and ADHD, or even for yourself or depression because you're poisoning bodies. That's a bit extreme. I wouldn't use that language. Just my language, right? You tell them why you're doing this and you let them have a say. You let them ask questions. Number 4, make slow changes. Okay, some people like to rip the Band-Aid off and go all in. I have found that that actually doesn't work very well when you have to deal with other people. If it's for yourself and you only have to manage you, spot on. But if you're trying to implement with other people that have their own agency, doesn't work so well. So go slow. So maybe it's dino nuggets, mac and cheese, you shrink the portion size down, and then you add some steamed carrots or some roasted broccoli or roasted cauliflower or something. Just start basic. Put a little olive oil on it. Don't cook with olive oil. Just put a little olive oil on it. Start there. And then the next meal, maybe the veggies take up 2 spaces on the plate. And then the processed food continues to shrink. Over time, you're going to slowly make this change so it doesn't feel so painful for everybody, because it's, negative emotions feel painful. And then you'll have a lot more buy-in. Okay, so expand slowly. Number 5, listen. We actually have to listen to feedback so we can make change. So listen to what your family is saying. Listen to what your kids are saying. You don't have to buy into what they're telling you by any means. Your mom, you get to make the rules, but you do need to give them a voice. They might actually have some really good ideas. You might actually hear them say that they're enjoying this. They might be telling you that they feel better. They did more jumping jacks in gym. Do they even do gym anymore? I don't know. My kids, it's like an elective, right? So allow them to communicate and express, listen to them, and then honor what they're saying. And again, you don't have to change your goal to accommodate them, but you do need to give people a voice and your family a voice. Number 6, engage your family. I was actually really fortunate to be able to do this myself with my kids growing up. I started them at a very, very young age. I think like 2.5, where I would pull them up to the island and I would give them plastic knives and spoons and little things that they could do and that could help me when I was cooking. And I would be like, try it. Go ahead, put it in your mouth. Yeah, chop that one up. Now, I fully recognize that that requires time. It is so much easier to be like, go sit in front of the iPad and you can hammer out dinner and bam, you're done. And when you do have the opportunity, maybe on the weekends or when things are just a little slower, try to engage them in the process as much as possible. You will start to teach them about food, about nutrition, about where things are grown and why, how different foods from the earth taste. And you're going to make it more fun. Because I don't know about you, like I've fallen into this place now where I cook. Actually, I don't cook that much. I don't really like to cook, but my partner cooks, and then we have meal delivery from a local chef here. But when I do cook, and we do cook meals at home, 6 nights of the week, we eat out once, my kids have to clean up. And I was thinking about this when I was writing this. I'm like, well, that sucks. Like their experience of eating clean and healthy and nutritious and having family meals isn't any of the fun. It's all the crap work. It's all the grunt work. So we're going to change that. So I'm going to go back to where they each have to make a meal. They're old enough. They're 12 and 13. They can make a meal. And they know it's dairy-free, gluten-free. They'll figure it out. They can read. They've got Google. And I'm going to make it more, I'm not going to make it, I'm going to give them the opportunity to experience cooking in a different way, not just clean up. So if they cook, I'll clean. Beautiful. And finally, give yourself some grace. This is not easy. This whole life thing, trying to be like the super mom, and if you're a mom and a working professional and get it right, and different parenting styles for different kids, and oh my God, maybe then you like throw in some food sensitivities and all the things. Like, it's not easy. But us being kind of mean to ourselves doesn't help the process. So give yourself grace. You're gonna have pizza night. You're gonna call Grubhub and be like, yeah, bring us the Thai. I'm done. We're just gonna sit, nobody's doing anything, and our cleanup is all in the garbage. You're going to have those days. And you're gonna have days that you're gonna knock it out of the frickin' park. Just allow yourself to be in it. Make the best decisions that you can for the health, longevity, wellness of yourself and your family. Set your kids up for a healthy life by giving them the opportunity to eat food that's from the earth, that's nourishing. Why not set yourself up, okay, for the opportunity too? I don't want you all on pharmaceuticals. I don't want your kids on pharmaceuticals. Start with food. Play around with it. Check back next Tuesday for more Tough Love Tuesday. Might be a little bit shorter than this one, but this one is super important. Remember, if you can pick it, pull it, not from the shelf, but from the earth, or kill it, that qualifies as food. Stay on the perimeter of the grocery store, be willing to try new things, engage the family, start slow, model the behavior, communicate, and be willing to deal with all the fights and the pushback and the praise and the kudos as well to facilitate change. And most importantly, just be honest with yourself. Who cares if you're lazy? If you love it, be lazy. I mean, you're a terrible person. I'm lazy plenty of times. I just want you to be honest with yourself. Stay tuned for more tips on how you and I don't really like that, on how you and your family can stay healthy.